What's up, my brother?
Going on, man?
How much, man? You know
Oh,
what
it's
time?
been a day.
It's been a long day. Uh, just got a break. You know, that interview, which was a great interview. Uh,
Yeah,
for anybody that's gonna look at this video later on, or you're looking now, definitely make sure you check out Talk with Tora. We just did our King of My Way, Queen of My Way interview. So definitely check us out with that. And bro, let's get it started, man. Let's get it started.
let's wait. Let's wait. Let's see if a few more people come in.
Okay. I definitely tag a few people in here. See if we got people in here. Hey, you know.
I know it seems like every time we do these lives, I'm always driving.
Always.
Always driving.
How was your day today, though?
Man, my day's been pretty hectic, pretty busy. Um, working in the heat. Trying to get things situated at home. Trying to get stuff moving in, everything situated. So yeah, it's been a pretty hectic day for me. Plus, we had the interview that we did, so and I
Oh,
still haven't ate yet.
you're not alone with that one, man. I still haven't ate yet either, so.
I miss uh, I miss Jack in the Box.
I thought you didn't.
I didn't have no problem with it. I thought it was good. My daughter, she ate there again,
Oh yeah,
like right
she
before we left.
she said she hadn't had it before.
She said she has had it before.
Yeah, she said she had had it before, so.
That's what I mean. Do y'all have a water burger?
Nah, that's West Coast.
Oh, West Coast.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
yeah, that's West Coast.
but y'all do have like the Five Guys and all that good stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we got the Five Guys. And yeah, and I hope nobody ever be mad at me for sending these lies. I don't care.
They better get over it. Tune into the live.
Tune into the live.
Nah, I'm just tripping. This is bullshit. Now, for real
with-
though, y'all come in and talk to us.
For real though.
And
Come in.
starving, I'm definitely starving. I'm super hungry.
Super, super hungry.
Other guys, he busy getting swole. He was getting picked on about his weight and stuff like that on the last live. He in the gym pumping that iron. He'll be in, I guess.
Yeah, later on in the week. He'll be in later on in the week. Yeah,
Hello.
man. definitely. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and get started, man.
Go ahead and get
Um,
started.
yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started. You know, of course, this live is sponsored by King of My Way, and let's jump right into it, bro. This is a topic that you was thinking about heavily. Uh, give your take on it, and then we'll go from there.
All right, so people who don't wish to get married, should you still have kids? And I ask this question because um, just paying attention to what's going on out here in the world, where people who are having kids that are not together and they're not married, and I'm just looking at all the problems and the situations that they're having. So that typically led me to ask people who do not wish to get married, should you still have kids? Because kids are an investment, and you know, you typically have a child with someone when you know, when you love them. So why not get married? Why not spend your life together and take care of that child? You know, both the child's biological parents.
Mm,
Plenty of studies show that children who have both of their biological parents in their life and they're together affects them in a more positive way, whether it be emotionally, physically, mentally. Um, so yeah, let's touch on that. Let's talk about that because we have some people saying, you know, nah, you don't have to be married because people struggle with or without children. So I I want people to really talk about that, especially from a female perspective. And we take dudes too. You know what I'm saying? We'll take some responses from dudes or guys if any is in here. Like always, we're glad to hear from the women. So let's elaborate on it. Let's talk about it.
yeah. So, anybody that wish to come on to the live, just either send a request or just say me in the comments, and we can go from there. As I continuously send out these these invitations. So definitely, if you'd like to join the live, definitely have to be camera ready.
Yep. I'm gonna touch on that. People who don't wish to get married should still have kids. Should you still have kids?
Because me personally, I feel like me having a kid and what I'm saying, me not being married, I feel that if you should definitely want to be married. I mean, it just makes it seem like everything will be a lot smoother, if that's the case. I mean, that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, because it seems like, and I could be wrong, but just observing, it seems like the biological parents that are not together, it seems like they're having a significant amount of situations and problems. Like it's, you know, from not being together and raising a child together, but more so on the child's mind. Like, how do they feel about it? Does it have something to do with the suicide rate of kids and, you know, wishing that they did have that father figure there or that mother? Is it like just more on the aspect of the child? How does it play a role on the child? Um, I'm not gonna say that two people that have a child or have kids together it doesn't work, but in my opinion, I think it turns out better for the child if the biological parents are together.
Yeah, and you
That way,
also
that child is not.
go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say that way that child isn't experiencing the things that we were talking about, like you know whether the child be with mom and seeing all the different men coming in and out of her life and and vice versa with the man. The man has custody of the child and seeing all the different women coming in and out of their life. So yeah, somebody chime in. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Also to add to that, I mean, studies show that uh, people that have been raised by their biological mother and father in the household together, I mean, it has been studies that, I mean, they're more successful in life. Um, but of course, you do have the exceptions, of course. But we're talking
Yeah.
about the majority.
Yeah.
So let's see here. She said, "I'm not camera ready at all." That's fine. You don't have.
So I
Of
won't
course,
even check the map right now. Yes, you would.
gotta be camera ready. But yeah,
For those who are just joining in, the topic is people who don't wish to get married, should you still have kids? Does it make a difference to y'all or it doesn't?
let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see here. Everybody quiet today, boy.
Hey, extra quiet. Man, we gotta do this. We gotta do this on Sundays, like we said.
Yeah, no. Normally we don't do it on Mondays because I know people be exhausted. But
Oh man, did you send one to B?
no, I didn't. I'm glad that you brought that up.
I guess it took like 3 minutes to do. Mm-hmm. All right. Appreciate it. Yeah, she's supposed to be in here. She didn't want. I don't think she necessarily wanted to talk on this topic, but we'll have a part two on that one.
All right, and Tora said, "I know someone married and they both didn't want kids."
Um, someone that was married and they both didn't want kids. That's not. I wouldn't necessarily say that's a bad thing. Um, I guess it's
Yeah.
personal preference on that aspect of it. Um, some people don't want kids, man. Some people, I know some people that totally dislike kids. I'm like, wow, no kids at all, nobody running around at all. I was always intrigued with the fact of creating someone that could possibly look just like me. I thought that was the idea of that was pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, and bringing on a legacy. You know what I'm saying, carrying on a legacy, your last name.
Yeah,
That was a thing for me,
yeah,
keeping the family name alive.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely carrying that name. So how does that work? Is it the boys that carry the name, or is it both?
It's really the boy, but I mean the female can carry the last name if she choose not to change her last name. Yeah.
Right. Okay. There's always one. I've heard that too. I've always heard The boy always carries the last name.
But you know, some females they'll have their last name like hyphenated,
Uh huh.
and then if they was to get divorced, then they would just take off the husband's last name and you know what I'm saying keep their last name.
Right.
Because once you take off that last name, I don't think you can get it back.
Oh, really?
If I'm not mistaken, or it costs a lot of money to get it back or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So, Tor, what's your thoughts on it? How do you feel about it? People that don't wish to get married at all. How do you feel about it? Them wanting kids? Because, like I said, you got men and women out there that don't want to be married, but they still want to have kids. Do you feel like that would be healthy for both the parents and the child, or do you feel like that could go sour?
Yeah, and she said, as a single person, my perspective is different because I've never had kids and my parents were married. I've seen people in my life go through that. Okay.
Right. Yeah, man, it's definitely something that people go through. But the outcome on how these things work out, man, that's the key to it.
And that's facts.
What's what's her name? Cynthia?
Yeah.
Where's she at? She in the internet.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
Sin Hart said she'll.
Hey,
Hey y'all,
what up? What up?
what's going on?
Not much. What you got going on?
Just here trying to cook some dinner.
Got what's on the menu?
Some lamb chops and some um, mashed potatoes and some plantains.
Oh, if it tastes anything like your mama's, girl. Whew. Mm. We having some technical difficulties right quick. Let's see here. Um,
All right, there you go.
there we go.
Oh,
There we
about some plantains and some lamb.
Some lamb, mashed potatoes, plantains. Yep.
Goodness gracious.
Yikes. If it tastes anything
We
like your
got a
mama's,
cooker.
girl. Woo.
Of course,
I guess you learned from one of the best.
I did. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So, what's your input on the topic today? Like, people who don't wish to get married, should they still have kids?
Well, of course, I'm married, so I wouldn't be. But I feel like, I mean, I grew up also on my mama. um, Having kids out of wedlock is like a big no-no, right? So, of course, I try to right the way that God wants me to do it. So I'm married now, and we're planning for kids. But in the case that it was not to happen, like if I was to be single, I do want to have kids. I feel like it has to be a mutual understanding because I see a lot of people going around now, and it goes both ways, females and males, um, where they have a kid, and at the end of it is like they out to get one another. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so the kid goes through a negative impact. So to me, I always believe that, let's say, me personally, a lot of, I've seen it with females try to keep a man with the kid, and I feel like that doesn't work. A kid is not going to keep a man. If the man doesn't want to be with you, he's going to leave regardless. Or vice versa. Let's, so they have, what for those, let's stay together because of the kid. I feel like it's everything. So if you want to get married, you don't want to have a child, then that, hey, we're gonna come together, have a child, but we're gonna terms, because I mean, it's not that my mom like spoke bad about my dad, but it's like some resentment from one another. So
Mm-hmm.
I stop on both sides. Like, hey, I don't want to hear it, because I want to see things for myself versus one another is throwing shade at one another. You know what I mean? So I feel like that one, but you still want to have kids, you have to have a mutual understanding with one another to say, hey, we're going to have a child, but we're going to, you know what I mean? Like, I know people that they still have a good, that, they both raised the child. So that's my, like, you have to have a, nothing wrong with now. Not everybody is, but you still want to have a child. I mean, God put us together in this earth to, you have your mate to form your kingdom, share your children, and so on and so forth. But I feel like understand. I feel like a lot of our kids now, like this,
Mm-hmm.
they go through a lot of things worse than we did even. I was raised, your parents. I don't know about your brother over here. I don't know much of the background here. I know you did say your parents are still together, right?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay, see what I'm saying? So it's like a little different now these days. It's like there I've seen so much negativity on now this generation just because parents are not collaborating together to so I think in order for us to raise our children better, if you are broken and you're not together, then you need to have that mutual understanding that hey, we're going to parent together. For the
E- Even that's hard.
It's hard. It is hard, but I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, your education, you still have to have that mutual understanding. You still have to come together, and yes, you guys are not going to agree on that, but you got to compromise because you both are the parent. You know what I mean? I know it's hard, and that's where it comes for you guys to know for sure that is this what you do? If I have a child with you, we're gonna be good and we're gonna parent together and we both go our separate ways, knowing that the only thing that we have together is this baby. And hey, but if you're not and you're not, and you feel it, when it's gonna go a rocky road.
Oh yeah.
Child that if you was to separate from her or him, if you're gonna continue happy or does that mean before I got married, people that I've dated, some people did have kids. And it's like, are you willing to spend the rest of your life hearing about the baby mama? Because that's what, instead of saying, I always hear baby mama, I never hear the mother of my child. You know what I mean? Has a reason.
Always say the mother. Yeah.
And I'm glad you do because I don't think, you got, that your seed here in this world, so I don't think you should call your mother. But when I was dating, before I got married, um, it was like that. Am I willing to go through this? Am I willing to see this person? Am I willing to know that I'm sharing my, my other half with someone else, because she will always be in the picture, or he will always be in the picture regardless.
Yeah.
So it's like you just have to come to them and know that if you do want to have a kid, right, outside of being like married, are you?
Yeah. And then, at the same time, that's, the first, you're not really thinking about, you know, not having a kid and not being at the same time. You're not necessarily thinking that it's going to go like that until it actually does.
Yeah.
And, you're actually, stuck with, what I'm saying, having a kid, then you're not, no plans of being married or anything like that.
Right.
Uh, of course, there, it is aspect as well that that you have. So, what's your take on it, bro? You've been mighty quiet, boy.
I'm not. I've just been listening and taking it in. I'm just, um, I just want to know, because it just seems like, and it don't get me wrong, it can work. I done seen it where couples are not together, but they have children, and they manage it. I mean, they do a great job at managing it. But it's it's just that I see in more cases than none when people are not married, or people are not married and they have kids, everything goes left. Like, and like I said, with it being an investment, I mean, you got child support, you got all this other stuff that puts people at these disadvantages. Whereas if you were married and you actually had a child, you kind of can, if you did want to bid your farewells to each good note. I mean,
We're losing you.
I agree with her 100%. Huh? What you
We
say?
keep losing you. You come in and out.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with
You,
the signal. Like, it's real choppy tonight.
yeah, the
Can you
signal
hear me?
signal been a little trash tonight.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. I didn't want to talk about this. Can
But
y'all hear me clear?
I
Yeah,
mean, to add on to what you're saying, I completely agree, because I do see majority of it going south. It's not one of those where, okay, we're not together, so let's make it the best we can just for the sake of the child, right? We're always gonna see, we're gonna reach life. Um, but if you think about it, they're on either side. It can be on the female side or the male side. They wanted to be with that person, and somehow
Uh-huh.
something work out. But it has never been where it it's been that, hey, I don't want to get married. You don't either, but we both want a child. So, compromise. Um, but I feel like any that has gone south, it's to me, it's very rare that I've seen where, it's just because they didn't want to get married or anything. No, it's they want to be with that person, just didn't work out
mm-hmm.
after they had the child. I've seen a lot of results where, oh, well, maybe the child can save the, and it's not true. It can go either way. I feel like you should never depend on your relationship with that person to get better just because of the child.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, so many people bank on that, and that that don't exactly go how it's supposed to go, or should go.
Right. See,
So yeah.
one of the people that I know, his name is George. He says, my ex-wife and I have a better relationship now than we have when we were married. We're actually very good friends, and we co-parent very well. That's someone that I know, like very few that I know it didn't work out, and they co-parent very well, and they're really good friends. like they have a good relationship and they're able to communicate, you know, agree on things, but you know, they co-parent very well. But I say like the majority of the times that I see it go south is because one or the other, that person in their life, and they thought the child was going to keep them in their life.
Yeah.
Right, right.
So like in your case, Cass, like in your case, what happened? Like I know from my end, I know you want to find your significant other and get married, right? So in your case, what
Huh?
happened? Huh? Oh,
Yo,
Huh?
look at the face.
Huh?
you don't get married no more? I changed.
Huh? Huh? Say what?
You hear me? Oh, you hear me?
What? Ask
You
that
heard the
question.
question.
Ask that question again. What?
Or what okay, so that changed. That changed. Okay.
No, 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 no. Ask the question again.
No, I said in your case, like share, you know, I want to know in your end what happened. Like I know you want to be married. You want to find that significant other where you can share the rest of your life with, right? So in your what happened? Why was it in the you know where I said you guys thought you just gonna end together for the rest of the life and it worked
You
out?
talking
Or
about my son's mother?
yes,
Um, I think it was just a whole lot of built up frustration with non-communication where I couldn't take it anymore. So when my son did come, it was kind of like, you know, I mean, it was rough uh, coming to terms with it at first uh, because it just I was kind of I checked out, but
right,
when he came, I was like, okay, you know, no matter what, because that's my job as a father to do. But as far as like being in a relationship, I was checked out way before he had even stepped foot on. So yeah, it was just a whole lot of when you on and off with a person for 6 or 7 years, and it just don't go anywhere. You become checked out, and I had got to that point where I was checked out. So yeah, that's and I was like I said, I was checked out. I was checked out before I even knew he was even, uh, uh you know what I'm saying, before he was even thought about. So yeah,
yeah,
that's what it was. Did I initially want to get married to her in the beginning? Yeah, but that was a long time ago before he was even born.
right. So see it goes back to that. Like initially, when you have a kid, like it's very rare that I've seen a scenario where two people come and say, "Hey, we both want kids. We don't want to be together. You know, we not want to be married. I just wanted you to have my baby, or I want to have a baby with you." Normally, always like starts off with the relationship. It's
Oh,
you know, then
that just throws a
yep,
that just throws, that just throws a red flag. Like I don't want to be with you like that, but I just want you to have my baby, bro. That's like the worst.
Yeah,
Oh no, I
I
just
would
can't,
not.
cause it's like, don't you want to, don't you want to build like the baby is the creation we make together. Let's do that, and then let's also build. Let's get the things that we desired out of life. Like
Yeah,
not just
you know,
let
absolutely.
me have your baby. Because I see a lot of cases like that. That happens, and then that person leaves. They had that
right?
baby, and then they gone. I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
No, I'm
Yeah,
not. I mean, like, hey, I don't want nothing serious. I don't want nothing. I just want you to have my baby. I'd be like, Pete, you got the wrong one. Like, I,
yeah,
know,
cause for one thing, because for one thing, you want me to have this baby, but you also want me to take care of it. You want me to help take care of it. So
Right.
you want me to 10 times out of 10, you want me to pay this child support. Uh, not 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, you want me to pay this child support to support the child. Um, and then you want me to do the extra stuff, not only pay the child support.
Mm.
See,
Mm.
with me, I guess that's a different subject. Like me personally, my opinion when it comes to child support, I think it's not necessary if the child, if the both parents are present in life, on the child's life, and you know what I mean, then by all means. But one of the parents, they're not stepping up. Then I mean, in my, my mom, like my dad would not give anything, and to this day, it's like that way. In my head, like if a parent splits up, you are to live like that child regardless.
Okay, so let me ask you this question.
Yes,
Um, how is your relationship with your father? Now that you're older, how is your relationship with your father?
it's not wrong. Him like child, but him every day, no, because I have noticed. I mean, I let go because for a long time when I had built resentment against him,
Mm-hmm.
and I let it go. When I went through the whole with Kelvin passing away, like it stuck in my heart because that's one thing that he would tell me, like you need to talk to him, you need to let it go, and I just couldn't because I went for years without talking to him. Because he hurt me, like, so I was holding on to that. And after that, I let it go. And I just, hey, he, he's the one that's going to be judged by God, not me. So I'm going to let him go, be my peace on my end. But now that I'm older, I've noticed that he reaches out when he needs something,
Mm-hmm.
but I know in my end, it's like, how can I help you when you didn't help me? Anytime that I reached out for assistance because my mom did not put him on child support, when he in that divorce decree he signed and said, hey, this is how much I'm giving my child, and he never did that. As a kid he would give my mom a an amount that a child eats maybe in a week, or they need shoes, clothes, whatever it is. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, why are you reaching out to me just whenever, it's like you try to sweet talk me, and it's not going to work. I'm older and I'm not naive like I was when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So just to be respectful, I love him. That's my dad, but I do not talk to him on a daily basis. So that's the reason I'm like, in a relationship, you have to know that you're both are going to be part of the child's life. Like my dad, anytime I ask for help, he will always be like, well, things are hard over here. I have to provide for my family. But I'm like, I am your family too. Like, so even though I don't live with you, you should be working like you have me in your household. You
Yeah.
should be saying that you don't have for your family, for your wife and your other two kids, my other two brothers. No, you have three kids. So, I mean, my relationship with him is not that great. I mean, I respect him. I say hello. I talk to him. But when I see that he's coming around just because he wants something, that's when I, kind of step away and leave him alone because I got too much going on over here for me to
Exactly.
deal with your stuff, and you just want to pop up in my life, whenever you need something.
Is that Nala?
No, it's Justin's dog.
Oh, that dog. I thought
You
it
don't
was.
like nobody's dog.
No, I like Nala.
He likes my husky.
Yeah, I like Nala.
Yeah. So I brought her over here because I couldn't be going to my mama's house every day.
I don't blame.
But yeah, so I feel like, you have to willingly know that, to me, outside of if you're not married, didn't work out, then you need to know that you still have responsibility for that child.
Of course, of course.
You know,
So is this the?
and
No, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, you can go ahead and finish. I was been
I lost
talking.
my, you know, we talked something. Because to me, having a child is like very, very special. Like you said, like to me, you having a baby, it's you and your loved one coming together and, you know, creating something out of love. You know, I cannot,
Right.
me personally, cannot have a child with somebody that I do not love. You know, this is, you brought us together. You know, God has brought us together to make a family, grow our kingdom. You know, keep
It's
going.
the
So
most prized possession. It's the most prized possession that you can do for one another. Like bring a child into this world.
Exactly. So it's
yeah,
like,
'cause right.
no, I was gonna say because when you have a child, like, and I've seen in some cases too, like after they have the child together, the mom kind of resents the child because the child looks just like the father. So it's like, you know what I mean? At the end of it, you have to know that when you bring the child, that child is gonna look like the mom and the dad all together, or it's gonna
Hmm.
look more like the other one. So are you willing to live that with the rest of your life? Are you willing to see your baby and know that that's the person that maybe hurt you, or you know it didn't go well, or whatever the case may be?
So you're
Yeah, and
ultimately. I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
no. Go ahead, cause it's your turn anyway.
I was just gonna ask. So you ultimately, bottom line, feel that you should get married and have kids and be married.
Yes.
But see, I
For
always,
me,
and me growing up, I always thought that was the standard. Like, you know the whole what's the whole little nursery rhyme? First come love, then comes marriage, then comes the baby and the baby carriage. So
Yep. Yeah, it
that's
is.
what I've always known, and it makes sense. Especially when we're talking about having kids out of wedlock and all this other stuff. So I just, I'm just trying to figure out is this the and I know this has been going on for a while, but is it the new normal? Is like, should we say the hell we're getting married and we just have kids, or what? Like, what's the direction of this? How do you see it going?
yeah, I think now this generation doesn't think like, I feel like our generation was the last of it, you know, to really grow old school wise of, hey, meet somebody, get to know them, that's who you want to be with. If you know that you are wanting to spend the rest of your life with them, then do the right thing. Get married, you know, grow together, whatever the case may be, and then have your baby. But that, I always believe that. Like, I'm not going to just have a child with just anybody or not knowing that I'm going to be with them the rest of my life.
Hey, bro, Nisha on that bull again.
Yeah, I seen that. So, Nisha, is it 50-50 or is there a majority?
Nisha on that bull again.
Is she on that bull? Nisha, is it 50-50 what you said, or is that the majority?
You're so crazy. I mean, it goes back to
Let's
where
get on live and tell a lie. Look. Do not get on live and tell a lie.
Do not get on this live and tell a lie.
Look. Hey, is that 50-50 or the majority? Nah, man, go ahead, man. Man, look, I can take you to one block right now and everybody not married and all this other stuff, man. Oh, come on.
There she go with that capping again.
Kevin.
I mean, that's true. Not everybody is built to have a marriage. You know, the question that arises though.
Well, we do know that.
The thing is that if you don't have the responsibility of marriage, then how do you have the responsibility to take care of a child?
Exactly. That's our whole point.
Because you're still taking care of another person. When you get married, you become responsible for your significant other. So when you have a baby, you become responsible of that child. So how can you not want marriage but want a kid? I mean, that would be my question. Hey, these girls.
You
Yeah.
you just
What?
You just proving our point.
I mean, that's just a question that started, that
You proving our point. Exactly.
you still have to have some responsibility for the child. Like, you cannot just out here be popping babies and I think that you're gonna have your responsibility, you
Exactly.
know?
And
Yeah.
then Alice said, I feel like a lot of people now are too selfish to get married. Uh,
And that, yeah,
that that you're exactly true about that. People are too selfish to get married, and they also too selfish when it comes to having kids.
Right.
yes, yeah, that is true.
I mean, because I feel like when you have kids, you have more responsibility, honestly, than a marriage.
Exactly.
Because
And
at the
So I
then,
agree. I agree with Nisha on that. They don't want accountability of marriage.
then if you don't want the accountability on marriage, you shouldn't want the accountability on having a child.
Hey, exactly. Exactly my point.
so it's like,
Because no, 9 times, 10 times out of 10,
It's just, I don't know. It's just, to me, it's like if you are not married and you want to have kids, it's just going to be so much confusion, and it's going to be so easy for both parties to go their ways, even though the plan is to raise a child together. You know what I
right.
mean? Like any and everything you do that.
Oh, look. Oh, she's coming back for y'all.
I don't know. Am I
it's like,
tripping
here she
or what?
go, here she go with that cap. She like, but they don't have
What
to
you say?
explain
But they don't
anything
have
to
to
the
explain
child.
it.
She like, but they don't have to anything to explain to the child. So they say, oh no, she ain't go crazy.
No,
I mean,
no,
you guys should say, I mean, we were talking about that when we were, the first conversation we started joining about, you know, the child. Do they have to respect, the partner of the other parents?
of
Absolutely,
course,
of course,
Because you,
100%.
I said the child doesn't need no explanation. So I mean, she got a point. You
yeah,
take that. See?
of course. They have to respect it.
Yeah,
They
they
have
do have to
their
respect it.
elders.
Yeah.
They have to respect their elders.
But do you expect for the okay? So now going with that, let's say you do have a child. You're not with your partner, but you don't have to explain anything to the child about your runabouts or if you come in and out of their life and stuff. Do you expect for them to still respect you when you're not coming in and out of their lives? To a certain extent, I get there's a level of respect, but do you expect for you to come and tell your child what to do, but you have been coming in and out of their life?
Mm-hmm.
Like me personally, I cannot. My dad ain't not gonna come to my life and be like, "You need to do this and do that." Like even now, I take what he says when it comes to advice in marriage, but I'm like,
I'm with G Ghost and Junior. Children need to respect adults. Period.
Period.
Don't it don't
Yeah.
matter. It don't matter if they're their father, their mother, uh, anything like that. A family member, anything like that. They need to respect adults. Period.
no, and I get that. I have a level of respect for my dad, but I
Yeah.
feel like you cannot come to my life and tell me how to do things when you have not been part of my life.
Oh well, then
Yeah.
you're allowed to check them on that. But
Yeah. But
it's
yeah.
it's
Go
a
ahead.
it's a certain level of respect. You know what I'm saying? You still have to have a certain level amount of respect for adults. Period. Now, if they, if they disrespectful, then you all right. It's okay to say something because they ain't gave you that type of disrespect.
Well, and it's a way on how you go about it too. If you can have a decent conversation about it and say, "Hey, I appreciate what you're talking about, but this, we know what's going on in our household, and we're handling it. If I come to you with the situation and I tell you detail line for line, and then you want to break it down and say how you would handle it, I use description, then all right, cool. And if I choose to accept that, then cool. But you still have that level of respect. I'm like, okay, all right, appreciate that, and keep it moving.
Yeah.
But
No, I
kids,
agree.
children should respect adults. Period. Whether it's their biological parent or not. Um, Now, again, is there some kind of psychological effect happening in the midst of that? Maybe so. And which way may be the reason why they may in return disrespect the person that's not their father, or you just never know with kids.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like it's important that the biological mother and father be in that child's life.
I agree. I feel like they both need to be present because, I mean, in my end, yes, my mom can act in a father figure way because she's the provider of the household. But I like that whole thing of coming to my dad, the boy broke my heart, or you know what I mean, like sharing those moments with him. I didn't share that with him. I actually shared with other male dad figures that I have in my life. But it would have been different if my dad would have been around to see all of that. Same thing with my brother. My brother did not have a dad figure. With the male, it's different when you're raised by around two females, is my mom and myself, so
Mm-hmm.
he's not seeing the male figure around the house. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a lag, so he has to learn all that by himself or with people that do provide that father figure. So I agree. I feel like both parents do need to be in their child's lives. So it goes back, if you're gonna have a child, you gotta know that
Yeah.
you are gonna be responsible. Child. Take that responsibility and don't just walk away. That affects the child.
Oh,
And speaking
Exactly.
from experience.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then let's run it back right quick. In my opinion, that why a lot of co-parenting isn't working because one of the both people are thinking what's best for them and not the child. Uh, that's absolutely correct. Um, 10 times out of 10, it's always best for them instead of the child. Um, so yeah, that's always a big misunderstanding on that part. I do like the fact that children need to respect adults. Period. Absolutely. I was always told you better respect them adults, no matter who it is. That's how I
Yeah.
was raised. Um, you
Nisha said,
children
"Don't be
respect
a."
adults. Children
Yeah.
respect adults. If you don't, you're gonna get your tail beat. So
Yeah,
I mean,
but then
Yeah.
he
Exactly.
said can voice their opinion and feelings respectfully.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, you
Yeah.
can do that. You can do that. But I mean, that one in
But you
my
see,
time. And
exactly. You see nowadays when kids when they're voicing their opinions, it's almost like it's what they say go. Because I see a lot of parents rolling with that, and I'm like, wait a minute, nah,
That's
that's
true
not
though,
how they're
because
supposed to go.
that's
Like
true.
you,
Because me growing up told us the
uh,
good and the bad. It was my choice to decide what I want to do. But at the end of the day, Mama wanted me to choose what she wanted me to choose. Because if not, we'll be talking a different conversation.
right,
But as I get older now, that I feel like there should be a level where you are able to hear your children's opinion. Of course, at the end of the day, you as a parent will have to decide because they're age, they're under your roof. Oh, here's
right.
my
there go Nala.
But look at the
oh
coat on.
Yeah, I'm gonna come pick up that dog this
no,
week.
no, you're not. That's my baby. That's my child right now because
Um,
they sure are like kids though.
yeah, I'm gonna pick her up this weekend. I'm gonna be down there. Nisha, how you gonna come get my dog? What the parents these days are trying to be their child's friend and not parent them.
Yep,
That's
that
absolute.
that's
That's
it.
absolutely correct.
that is very true.
I ain't your friend.
That is a fact.
I'm your daddy.
Exactly.
But
I
I feel
know.
like there should be a level of trust. You know what I mean? That you should be able to trust me to come and tell me what's going on with you. You should not be afraid to tell me what's going on. Because I would rather you tell me what you're going through instead of you going to tell others. Um, Because at the end of the day, I'm the one. I mean, you want to know something? Come tell me. Ask me. You know, I got the answer for you. But it becomes where it's more. You're more of a friend than a parent.
Yeah, yeah, and I seen a lot of, even a lot of kids that we grew up with, our age, their parents was more like their friend than the actual parent.
Right.
I think when that happens, they feel more entitled to certain things that they shouldn't be entitled to.
Right.
That's a whole nother can of worms right there, man. Because they take over. Like, nah, we gonna do this. We gonna eat this. We gonna like. Wait a minute. Hold up. Chill out. First
And
of all, you need guidance. You don't know what it is you want to do. You need guidance. But yeah.
right. And I feel like you should never lie to your child. You know, keep it real, but don't tell everything because then they use that against you. And I think that's where it comes where you're too much of a friend to your child that you're not able to parent them. Because then they think, oh well, you did that, so I can do it too. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a whole nother big mistake right there.
Says my mama was my BFF, but she would take my head off. That's my mama now too, you know.
You take your head off.
Yeah, mine does that now. And,
Mamacita don't play.
and you know, she don't. We can be cool. We can hang out. You know what I mean? Have a good time. But even though I'm grown now,
Don't come with no mess.
tell,
no,
tell them I'm coming. I'm coming to spend the night at our house this weekend.
no, you're not.
I am.
You trying to get some of that cooking.
And I'm gonna sleep in your bed.
Okay, that's fine. As long as go ahead and lock that door and everything.
Hey, but look, I
Nah,
just want to play.
she gonna come in. Nah, I just play.
Where's the respect at? Huh? Where's the respect? You talking about respect your elders? Huh?
I am gonna respect her.
You know what?
Hey, look, I just want to play.
Oh, the food gonna be on the chain, my boy.
Yeah, I want some of them plantains and lamb chops.
Yeah. Come on down.
All right, that's a bet. All right, bro, we're gonna burn the road up.
Oh, I'm gonna be down there this weekend. She think I'm playing.
Well, come on. Let me know when you get here. Oh, we won't be here this weekend.
Huh?
We leave going to South Carolina on Saturday.
South Carolina?
Yeah.
My
cousin, she lives in South Carolina, and my aunt is here, so my mom want to go see them. So we leave Wednesday. We come back Sunday. So I mean, you get here Friday.
Nah, I'd be Saturday. It would be Saturday, if anything.
Yeah, you. We'll come down when Nisha comes. Nisha,
I don't know. I see.
bring your brother with you.
I can't get that joker down the road.
You heard him. I'm coming. I'll be there.
Yeah, right, man. You ain't.
Hey, look, you know when food involved, bro.
But it was hard to get your garbage tail to Charlotte.
Hey, look, I'm a busy man. I came though. I made it.
We all busy.
That's right. Say that again.
What? Hey, look, I made it. Exactly.
Oh, it'll definitely be a party for sure.
Hey, look, I'm seriously thinking about coming back down there in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, he said when you come when you knocking on my doorbell, that's when I'll believe you.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But you know, Atlanta ain't nothing but a hop, skip away though.
It sure is. Just down the street.
Oh, what's your, are you in Atlanta? You said Atlanta?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot, man, we got to make. Look, actually, we got to come down and, well, bro, you going before then, ain't
I'm really supposed to be down there this weekend, for real, for real. All jokes aside.
Cause see,
Look,
we,
talk show
we.
over. Well, thank you all for tuning in.
She said these dudes making plans.
Okay, back to the subject, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
sorry about that. But so ultimately, you feel like, if you're gonna have kids, you should be married.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Um, where Nisha at? Nisha, did
Yeah,
you want to get on since you say we're skipping your comments?
yeah. Since you got a whole lot to say, it seemed like you want to get on the live tonight as well. So,
She said my ribs hurt from all that laughing you do.
what your reels doing hurt?
Oh, tell Ryan to hold on.
What your reels doing hurt?
Do you really want to know?
Yikes!
Come on, Nisha. Come on, talk to us.
All right. Well, I'm gonna finish cooking over here before Kaylin get here.
Oh yeah. Gotta take care of that. Well, definitely thank you for joining the live, and appreciate you like always.
Yep, anytime. I like this. I think a lot of people need to, hear our perspective on things and nuggets out there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well,
I'm cooking. Wait, before I get off, I'm cooking lamb chops, mashed potatoes, and sweet plantain.
something she can't have. We definitely appreciate you, saying, and we always be talking real soon.
Yep. All right, y'all. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, man.
Yeah, we get some guys on here too, man. We want to hear from the fellas. We ain't brought a guy on yet.
I really want to hear some fellas take. I want to hear some fellas, man. We've been showing the women mad love. Definitely want to hear some fellas take. So, man, let me see if somebody want to join the live, man. Get on live right quick. See if we can get somebody on live.
I'm gonna take this time. I'm gonna eat because I ain't ate all day.
Man, I ain't ate since early myself. Um,
Come on, let's hear let's get a male perspective before we get Nisha on here because she gonna speak for the guys, the girls, the grandmas, the aunts,
cousins.
cousins, the uncles.
She gonna get. She gonna get everybody's 2 cents. Oh, she would have some lasagna, huh?
I want some. I want some too. I want some lasagna too.
That's my favorite food. I need some of that lasagna.
Yeah, that's mine too. Come on, people who don't wish to get married should you still have kids?
Yeah.
I know there's some fellas in here. What y'all think?
Get some male perspective going on here.
Please, man, we need it. The women be beating us out over here, man. Pause.
Yeah,
You know?
get some male perspective going on, man.
I mean, we don't get nobody, man. We can get these shit.
Yeah. She said they too shy to speak.
Who too shy to speak?
She talking about the men. The
Oh,
men.
shit. Don't be shy, shit, man. Y'all can talk just like we in the barbershop.
Yep, barbershop talk.
Hey, yo, your comments still rolling because mine has apparently stopped.
You said comments?
Yeah, like mine stopped. The last thing I see is Nisha. And she said, but y'all skip my comments, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's way past that.
Yeah, I don't know what's...
Oh, she's trying to go in. She said men prefer comments. They love...
Oh.
She said they love DMs.
Oh.
Oh, sucky now. All right, man. That's enough. Come on, Nisha. Get on the live.
Bring your ass in here.
Come on the live.
There she is.
There she go. Look at her.
Look at the Queen of England. Nisha.
Look
How
at
you
her.
doing, Nisha?
How you doing today?
What's up, Nisha?
You alright? You straight?
Yeah, I'm fine. Y'all okay?
Yeah, we good. We gravy.
We
know.
just want you to enlighten us. Where'd she go?
Where'd she go?
Come on, Nisha.
Nah. Our secrets won't come out. We ain't got no secrets.
Who got secrets?
I don't know what Cynthia talking about.
Mm-mm.
We open books over here.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
You got scared, didn't you?
No, I swiped and something happened.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you did what I did. Went to
How's
the
Yeah, I think I swiped to the left or something and the whole screen just fine. Now, what happened?
How was your day today?
Let's talk about my day.
Oh Lord.
First of all,
Uh-oh.
it was rough because I woke up and I tripped over my dog. So
Yeah.
Then I left. I hope you choke on your food while you laughing. Then I left. Then I left to go get me some breakfast and locked myself out the house. Couldn't even get in the car because the keys was hanging on the lock.
Man.
Then I had to break in the house. Then I was making a door sign and I put the letters on like backwards, so everything was just spelled wrong. And it's been a day. It's just been a day. But my lasagna turned out real good. That's all I know.
Oh, well, that's a plus right there.
Yeah.
That's all I know. I ain't messed the meal up, but everything else is gonna know.
Better not mess that meal up.
The food gonna be right. One thing about it.
Look, cause you gotta eat it too, huh?
Listen, I'm not going to the gym. I want all my food. I want all the flavor, the turkey sausage that's in there, the pepperonis that's in there, the hamburgers.
Hey,
I want all of it.
You know that metabolism slow down the older you get.
I believe that. I believe that. But it's okay. For right now, it's going at the pace I needed to go. So it's fine.
Hey, look, you don't turn around before you know it. You be turning around looking like Respucia.
No, hell no. No, I ain't gonna do that. Man.
Yikes.
You ain't gonna let it get out of hand like that.
No.
Right.
I mean, I'm good now where I'm at. I ain't big, but I'm tall. So, I don't know. It's weird.
So, look, how do you feel about it? Should people who do not wish to get married, should they still have kids?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest.
That's all we ask.
Do I feel like they should still have kids? Yes. Reason being is because, again, a lot of people aren't capable of being married. And it's nothing worse than being married, knowing you're not capable of being a wife or a husband, being just toxic, being unhealthy, and then bringing a child into that environment. That's not good, because in the end, you end up splitting, and you created an atmosphere for your child. They were already used to, drama. They're used to a two-parent household, but it's not healthy. So you're already embedding into their head that it's okay to be unhealthy and be toxic from the beginning and live in the same household, and you don't even like each other. So you're already putting that in their mind, and that's never good, because then that creates that habit in them, and they think that's okay for them to do.
Okay, let me
So
stop you right there.
hold on. Let me ask this question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you said some people are not what? They're not capable of being married.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're not capable of being married, how are they capable and able to have children
Because your
and
body
taking
is going to
care of the children?
automatically, your body naturally, you can have kids. You don't have to be married to have a child. Now, I know that's the identical way. I know for myself, I didn't want to have kids and not be married. It's a personal preference. But I always wanted marriage. Some people don't want marriage. And there are some people that don't want marriage that are very good parents. But they just don't want marriage. I don't know why they don't want marriage. I don't know if it's something that they've seen bad happen. They don't believe in marriages. They think marriages are a joke. For different reasons, that they just don't want marriage. And you can't, I know it's easy to say, and the Bible talks about being married and having kids and stuff like that. But the truth be told, some people cannot. Some people are better as parents and separated than they are as parents and married. They're
But
just better off that way.
how
Some
do they
people,
know that?
not
Like
everybody, just
how do
some
they
people.
know that they? I'm sorry. I was gonna say, how do they know that if they don't experience it? Like you said one time, you was
Some
like,
people just,
hold on. Like you said at one time, you was like, some people like, you can't really prepare all that well to be married, or to even have kids. So it's like, if you ain't experienced it, how do you know? Like, why not give it a try? If
some
you,
people don't want to.
I'm just looking at it like, if you can spend every day with a person and even go as far as to have a kid, it's like, why can't you do the married thing? Is it the
Some people
title?
don't want to marry.
Is it the title that's
But
bothering people, or people just really don't want to
I
get
think
married?
it's I honestly think I think it's the title. I think it's the accountability and the responsibility. People feel like, in marriages, some people don't want to be accountable or responsible for just being connected to that one person. They don't want that. They want their freedom, their free will. They want to be able to do what they want to do, go where they want to go when they feel like it, and they don't have to answer to nobody.
But
They
you still,
want that.
but you
And
still
in a
can't do some
marriage,
of those things with a child, right?
very, very well, very much so. But when it's their kids, they don't feel like they got to explain nothing to their child. Then you ain't got no right to ask me why I'm you off at your grandma's house. If I come home late, I don't have to answer to you as to why I came home late. I pay the bills here. You're the child, I'm the parent. I see that a lot. They're not
Mm.
accountable or responsible when it comes to the kid, because they don't feel like the kid has to say so in that factor. Now, if you're
Mm-hmm.
married and your spouse is asking you those questions,
hold
if
on,
it hadn't already been discussed,
hold on. You said the parent feels like the kid has a say so in that matter.
no, I said they feel like the kid does not have a say so or have a reason to ask those questions.
They don't.
Now, when you're in a marriage, hold on, and that creates an issue, because if you constantly
Uh-oh.
come in and out the house, your child lives in that household, and you bring in Jim, John, Jerry in and out the house throughout the night. They do. They have to sleep there. You are putting your child's life in danger because you really don't know these people. That's a problem. And the system will see it that way, because if anything ever happens and they ask your child, well, who all be in your house? And they name all these people, that's a problem. Because they're going to deem your house as being unfit for your child. Because you're having Jim, John, Jerry, and Joe running in and out of your house. So you don't know what happened. You don't know who did it. You don't know when they did it. You don't know nothing. So now you're creating an environment that's not safe for your child. And you don't feel like your child has the reason to ask, well, who was that mom? Or who was that daddy? They're going to ask. They're a child. They're going to ask when there's a stranger in the house that they're not familiar with. And that happens more so often nowadays because people are comfortable with just being with whoever they want to be with at that particular time. Do I agree with having multiple people around your children? No, but that's your personal opinion and that's your decision.
See, that's
Do I think it's right? No.
That's all the more reason to have a husband in the home, or to.
Right, but they don't want that because of the simple fact they don't want to answer to that one person. They don't want to be questioned by that one person.
Then they shouldn't be having kids.
They shouldn't have
but
kids.
But that's not how they thinking. But you can't tell somebody they shouldn't have kids. Because it's people like me who are married. It's people like me who are married who struggle with infertility that can't have kids. But it's people out here that's not married and they having kids left and right. I want their bodies.
You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead, bro.
Go ahead, bro.
No, I was gonna say
I feel like people. Yeah, it's a lot of women that are married who struggle with infertility.
Yeah.
And they waited until marriage to have children.
Yeah.
There are a lot. There is a majority in that factor. There are a lot of women who are single who have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kids.
Yeah.
4, 5 different baby daddies.
Yeah,
right.
You're right. You're exactly right.
So they don't believe in waiting to get married because of the fact that it's easy for them to have kids without it.
Okay, let me ask you this though. If they willing to do all that, have all these kids, you know what I'm saying, outside of a marriage, shouldn't they be willing to take care of those kids by themselves? If they willing to have all these kids?
Hell no. What?
They want to have all these kids outside of marriage.
Evidently, the nigga do too.
I mean, it ain't always on the man. Like
you in it raw.
They make condoms for women too.
They do, but is you making her put one on?
She ain't making the man put one on.
Well, he just as responsible as she is. Next.
That's where accountability goes into play, right?
Next.
That's where their accountability.
You can't tell somebody if they're married or not, whether or not they can have children or not. But what I'm saying is, what is the outcome of that? Is it more good?
Some people, it just depends on the lifestyle you create for your child. It depends on that lifestyle you create.
That's true. But
you have to create that lifestyle and how you raise them. That is all in how you determine that factor. So there are some single women out here who got some baby daddies that weren't on board with what they had going on. And they millionaires. Their kids are set for life and they single. The baby daddy sitting in the hood, still hustling nick bags and dime bags. He ain't doing nothing.
Trap.
You know what I'm saying? So it really just depends on, there are a lot of women that are nurses, doctors. They're single parents. Their children's lives are set. They paved the way. They showed them a different way. Just because your mama did it or your daddy did it don't mean that has to be your lifestyle. Just because she's single, that doesn't mean she's not preaching to her kids about marriage or wanting them to be married. Don't be like me and be single. You can tell your kids that you want marriage for them, but it wasn't good for you. You didn't feel like you needed that.
Well, you don't think,
that's true.
You don't think kids are smart enough that when they get older, they watch and they say, "Well, Mom."
Yeah, I mean, kids watch from babies and up. When you don't think kids are paying attention, they are paying attention. And that's how they develop their words. They pay attention to what you're saying. So they're watching.
I can promise you the majority of females that are single, they're not preaching marriage to their kids.
I'm not saying the majority are. I'm just saying there are some who are are willing to tell their children that I didn't want marriage. But if that's what you desire, then that's what you go after. You don't have to be single. You don't have to come up, you don't have to live my life just because I did it and I'm your mother. You don't have to live that lifestyle. If you want marriage, then that's what you go after.
Yeah, but how many women are actually holding themselves accountable for that? It ain't this is slim percentage on that.
We
Women,
don't know that though, because we don't know what people are telling their children in their own homes.
well, I've seen a lot of
It,
single women, and ain't none of them ain't never ever said anything about no marriage when they single.
exactly.
But I'm
The
pretty sure if
outcome
their
tell it
children
all.
decided to get married, yeah,
You,
if they decided to get married, they would be right there. They're not going to shun them away from it.
yeah,
They're going to be right there
yeah,
if that's the decision that they make.
they not
But see,
holding
that's
themselves
what's gonna confuse
for a
kids. Cause go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
they're not holding themselves accountable of showing them that the way it should be. You know what I'm saying? As far
Well, you can't show how it should be because marriage isn't something that can be taught.
or set an example, I should say. That was the correct word I was looking for. Show an example. Set an example.
Okay, so let's put it in perspective. You show them an example. Okay, we're married. We both cheat. Is that a good example?
No, it's definitely not an example. Good example. But being single,
It happens
being,
more so than often.
being single and messing with everything, that's not showing an example either.
Exactly. So on both ends of the fence, it depends on what type of lifestyle you create and show your child. You don't have to show your child 5 different niggas in a month.
But it
You don't
happens.
have to do that
But it happens.
all week.
But what I'm saying is, what is the outcome of that? Because it's looking like it's more negative than it is positive.
The
And
outcome,
you see this stuff for yourself. We know it happens on both sides of the fence, but you see this for yourself. The outcome of that is more negative than it is positive.
in the majority, yes. And then there are some that when they're not married and they have children or whatever, when the children grow up, they aim for marriage and they suck at it. They fail at it because they didn't have that example. But again, do we
If you
always? But at that point, at a certain point in that level, you have to take responsibility for yourself because there are other people that you can look up to as a role model that were married and had a successful marriage, and you can gain, your knowledge or whatever, or get some, have conversations with them. You can have that. Just because you didn't get it from your parents doesn't necessarily mean you don't have a role model that you can look to get that. Because some people, their role models weren't their parents' marriage, and their parents' marriage might have lasted 20, 30, 40 years. They really looked at their grandparents or their great great grandparents. So we really can't even say it's just all the parents because kids look at who they want to as their role model and as their example.
That's true. And that goes back to what we had said previously in a previous live, that our grandparents 9 times out of 10 that our grandparents got it right when it came to relationships and what I'm saying,
With it lasting,
yeah,
yes.
with it lasting and keeping.
With the hidden mess that you go through in the marriage, no. Because that is where we get into the conversation of generational curses, because it wasn't talked about with our grandparents and great grandparents, so we don't know what carried over into our lineage. Because it is not talked about, and a lot of stuff that happened in marriages is covered up. No, that's a fact.
Yeah, it is. What you got, bro?
well,
Why you smack the
And
yeah,
using
bro.
a napkin.
I ain't ate all day. Leave me alone. Um, yes, children do. They tend to pay attention to who they want to, but then too, it's still on the behalf of the parent because you get to control what they see. So if you take them around that situation, then yeah, that's what they'll see. But if you keep them at home and the father's there, and the mother's there, and it's y'all, and you raising your little family, and that's what you keep instilling in them, then they can pick up on that. I don't necessarily agree with people that, like for instance, like what you said, that they don't want to be married, so they're teaching their child they can be married. That's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's confusing the child. The child's like, okay, I hear what you're saying, but at the same time, you're not doing it. And the child will eventually get older and call you out on that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I'm not saying like per se just teaching the fact that you can get married, but if that child talks to you about marriage, I haven't heard any single parent just shun their child because they wanted to have the conversation about marriage. That's what I'm saying about teaching the children. I've never ran into a single parent or a single woman and any of my friends whose children are, like teenagers or like in college now, with some of my older friends and things like that, their children are in college and they were single parents their whole life. They've never told their child that marriage wasn't okay. They've never done that. I've never heard that.
So what is it? Are they choosing to be? So they're choosing to be single by choice? They don't want to be married?
Some of them have chosen to be single by choice, and they have chosen to just stick to their career and chase their career because of their success stories in their careers. And then some of them have been like hurt so bad in just the relationship dating process that they don't want to go back through that process anymore. They would rather just stay single and happy. And they do. I do have some friends that do go out on dates and things like that, but it's nothing where the children meet this person. It's nothing where they're staying the night at the house. I mean, I have a friend who doesn't even invite anyone to her house. They'll do dinner. I know she's done like a hotel stay or something like that, but they have never made it to her house. They don't know where she lives unless they just stalked her or whatever. But it has never gotten to the level where she allows anyone in the vicinity of her children or where her home is, where she rests her head at night. Now, I mean, she has been dating a guy consistently for the last 7 months that she's really gotten to like, or whatever the case may be. And
so
it has changed her perspective.
So she's come out of it.
Exactly. She has gone through the process where now she's getting to I really think she's getting to the point of where now she's choosing that she wants to settle down. And I'm not sure if they've had that conversation about marriage or whatever.
Right.
But she's okay with the dating process and being, totally committed to this one person. But she did go through the cycle and she did go through the process where she was just dating for a long time. Like, it was never nothing serious. When we did like, conversations and things like that, it was never, Nisha, I want you to meet this person, or she never would mention who it was. Now, if she did go on a date or something like that, she would always share like her location. So we would at least know where she is at that particular time. Just in case.
Do you ever ask her? Because I don't really know too many people, man, that want to die alone.
Yeah, I mean, so in the beginning, she was okay with just being single. She was okay. She didn't want marriage or anything like that. Now, we had the conversation where she desires for marriage. She has a desire for marriage, but she's not pressed on the issue in the event that it's just not it. So she's more so, it's kind of like a 50-50 for her at this point. She's okay with it if it does happen, but if it just doesn't, then she's fine with that too.
So kind of if the right guy comes along and sweet talks her,
he would have to. Yeah, it would be more than the sweet talk for her.
Well, you know.
But yeah, I get what you're saying. But yeah, she's more, if the right one presented himself and, did things right for a while, whatever, then if he asked, then I'm sure she would go for it. But it's going to have to make sense.
And you said she already got kids.
Yeah, she has kids.
How many does she have?
2.
2 kids.
Are they by the same man or they?
Yep, both by the same man.
Okay, why does she not want to get married to the man of her kid?
Because he was verbally abusive.
He was
Okay.
verbally abusive.
Mm-hmm.
Did she know that before she had his 2 kids?
Nope. It didn't start to after the second child.
Hmm.
What triggered him to be inverted?
He didn't want, well, from what I would hear, it was he didn't want the responsibility. First of all, he wasn't her career involves her working a lot. She's a nurse, and with things have shifted over the last couple of years. Um, and his job isn't on the level of financial end as hers.
Mm-hmm.
So he felt like, um, I guess, in the simplest terms, he didn't want the responsibility of having to take care of the youngest child as often as he did because her job picked up. So when she was working longer hours, he had to do more of the running and picking up that child.
Did he
Daycare
work?
runs, sports.
Did
Yeah, he worked,
Yeah, I was just about
but
to say.
his hours weren't on the level of hers. So there
Okay.
are some days where she physically will work about 16, 17 hours, depending
Okay.
on the staff at where she works. So when she would get off, she would, be drained, go to sleep, and literally would only get a couple of hours before her next shift would start. And it would be like that in a rotation because, of course, she would work like 3 on, 4 off, or 4 on, 3 off,
Oh yeah.
stuff like that. So her sleeping, she had to sleep when she could. So he did more of the um, picking the child up from school, daycare, appointments, sports, things like that. He had to keep up with at this point. And it becomes to a point where he was verbally abusive, just talking just trash to her constantly, saying hateful stuff to the child. Just, I guess, I don't know if it was just frustration, but it never ceased. It remained the same pattern until he just decided he didn't want to do it anymore and he left.
So neither one
He
tried to.
literally left.
So what did they go the extra mile to try to fix the situation? Did he go
Yeah, I mean,
again?
she had even gotten to the point. She had even gotten to the point where she had changed her shift at work.
uh,
Um, did what she could as far as her career goes to kind of balance it out to where everything didn't seem like it was falling on him. But then she got to the mentality where when it comes to your child, there shouldn't be an issue with picking that child up because one parent is working more. It's not like she's partying. It's not like she's just taking vacations. It's not like she's just out here living her life. She's working to maintain the lifestyle
Mm-hmm.
that y'all have created.
Okay, so Cynthia had a question. What led them to having children, knowing the situation?
That wasn't the situation in the beginning. That wasn't her situation in the beginning. It
Her
didn't
career,
start.
her career wasn't the situation.
Her career was never an issue. Her
So,
career was never an issue until things changed over the last 2 years.
so
so
she
she
had a kid. I mean, okay, so basically, I mean, she had the same career when they had got before they was when they was together, correct?
Yep.
working the same hours.
Same hours and all.
Yep. If not more, because she was,
Single.
yeah. I mean,
Well, you're single till you're married.
and she was,
But
yeah,
that's
you
different.
single till you're married anyway, but before she even got into a relationship, before they had kids, before any of that. So even when they were in the dating process,
Mm,
it was the same thing.
okay.
It wasn't until after they had the second child.
So he had a problem
And
with
of
responsibility.
course, with everything, yeah, he didn't want, that's what I'm saying. He really didn't want, and that's the only thing I could think. Like, you really just did not want the responsibility of your child full time until things died down. I mean, everybody knows within the last year or so, COVID was horrible.
Yeah.
So her hours, first of all, people were short staffed, people were quitting, people were taking assignments elsewhere. So that made local locations short staffed, things like that. So hours for people that were in the healthcare field were through the roof.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, if you look at that and you just know what's going on anyway, I would think you would have a different type of respect for your loved one getting up, putting their life on the line every day, risking not being able to see their kids anyway without having to be COVID tested and things of that nature before they go home and hug their child or whatever. So in that instant, I guess, with him just walking out on them, she was just like, you know what? Whatever. And I honestly couldn't blame her for that, because you're already risking your life every day during that COVID season. Not even just your life, you're risking your family as well, because you're going home to them after working all those long hours in the facility where COVID patients are there. They're dying. They're doing this. They're doing that. It's just weird. Now I don't know if there was another person involved or if there was another woman or whatever. She never gave those details. I don't even know if she ever asked, honestly. If she did, she didn't say anything. But at that point, she was just like, I got to still do what I got to do for my family, because my family's not going to go without. I'm not going to lose my house behind this. I'm not going to allow my child to lose or miss out on the activities that he's involved in because of him choosing to leave. So again, she created a lifestyle that she has to maintain.
Okay, and basically, from the assumption, it sounds like she was the breadwinner when it came to a job, correct?
Basically.
Okay.
Basically, and I mean, and that's nothing. And it's
So
nothing wrong with that if you have a strong mentality as a man. You have to have that within yourself, because if you don't, and your woman is a breadwinner, it's easy to get offended. Easy to get offended when she might not even be intentionally doing it, or whatever the case may be. But it can be, you can easily get offended by a woman who's a breadwinner, if her career requires her to give so much of her time. But when the man's the breadwinner and the woman is the caretaker of the house, it's not the same level if she already knows her place and she knows that she wants to be a housewife. If that's a decision that she has made within herself, then she's fine with it. As long as the bills is paid, the house is taken care of, whatever, she's gonna be fine with that. But for some reason, some men just can't handle, and I'm not saying all, some men just can't handle a woman making more than them.
What's your take, bro?
I was gonna say, how's her temperament? Is she like the feminine, submissive type, or how is her temperament? How is she?
She's very feminine. She's very calm. I don't think the girl ever been in a fight ever in her life. Definitely not me.
Because see, most times men who are in relationships with women that have a problem with the woman, is typically the woman that's making the majority of the money, and also she has a lot of damn masculine energy. Those are the ones. But if she's feminine and submissive, and it just sounds like she just has a problem with responsibilities.
Yeah, he didn't. It did to me. That's what I told her. I don't feel like he wanted to pick up where it shouldn't be an issue with picking up at, because when it comes to your child, I don't think there's ever a level there where we really need to discuss too much of nothing when it comes to your child. Simply because if I'm working and you're off, whose responsibility is it to pick your child up?
Yeah.
That should never be a conversation that we should be constantly having. If you know I'm at work for 16, 17 hours, it shouldn't be, I shouldn't have to ask, like, what's for dinner or whatever. The roles are the same in a marriage. If one is working, somebody has to cook. Now, if he can't cook, then babe, you know I can't cook. You want me to bring you some lunch? You gonna go get you some lunch? What you gonna, you know what I'm saying? What you gonna do for lunch? It's simple. It's a simple balance. And like for me, like with my own husband, he'll cook, but he's not a cooking individual per se.
Oh, you said it in a
I
nice way.
am I am the cook. Okay.
But
You
So
said it nicely.
when I ask him to cook, he'll tell me straight up, like, I'm only give you like 2 good meals. Now, if you want to go eat, we can eat wherever you want to eat. Cause I can't cook for real.
well,
I'm gonna give you 2 good meals.
let me
That's it.
throw this in here.
Not no 4.
Um, when you're in a relationship, marriage, or whatever, when you tend to do something repetitive over and over again, you tend to feel like you're doing it all by yourself. When you're taking on, basically, like, let's say for in his instance where, of course he's working, yes, she's working more than he is, but he's doing his part in working a job as well. And then
Right.
on top of that, he's having to deal with everything with the kids. As far as that,
Mm-hmm.
because the only thing that she is doing the work, as well as he's working himself. Plus, he's doing all the housework and he's doing all of this and all of that. Don't you think he would feel stressed out, and you know what I'm saying, that? And,
Stressed out, yes. Frustrated, yes. But to up and walk out on your family, no. Because at the end of the day,
I won't excuse. Oh, I won't excusing that.
yeah, at the end of the day,
I won't excusing that at all. I'm just saying.
in a relationship and in a marriage, and this is what I mean by I don't agree with 50-50. Because in a relationship and in a marriage, you both have to give 100%, regardless of what it looks like.
Yeah,
Because if the roles were flipped and he worked the majority of the hours and she worked the minimum, she still was working, cooking, cleaning, kids at sports. There, in today's society, there are a lot more mothers taking children to these basketball games they got. There are a lot of women present at these games now because a lot of the fathers aren't there. They're on the road, they're working, or they're doing whatever, they're not present or whatever. There are a lot more women at these extracurricular activities than there are men.
I agree.
So if the roles were flipped, that woman would do the same thing. If she's any woman, she's going to do it. There are a lot of women that work full-time jobs. For myself, work a full-time job, run a business, cook. My husband got a meal every single day. Every day. And if I didn't cook, by the time he gets here, I'm either already done ordered the food or ordering the food. And when he's done with his shower or whatever the case may be, his dinner is either here or it's on the way.
Man.
So if the roles were flipped, the woman would still do it all. She's still gonna work. She's still gonna provide for her household. She's still gonna take care of her household. If she's any woman of any value, she's not gonna make excuses
Right.
for that.
I'm glad you said that. Of any value.
Yeah, if she's any woman of any value, she is not going to make excuses for that. It's a balance. Marriage is 100% on each end. It's a equal. It's not 50-50. If we give him 50-50, then baby, we only give it half. And why are we doing it? Because if we're giving half, then what's the point?
What you got, bro?
Hey, I mean, I agree a lot with what you're saying. But back on that situation, it just seems like, yeah, dude, he don't want to take care of responsibilities. And if you don't want to do those things, then don't have kids.
Right.
And then that goes all into play what we said already.
Right. But I mean, some people don't want marriage. They'd rather have kids without the marriage. But we don't know why. We don't know why people, choose that way. And some people don't. Some people don't. It just happens. You get caught up. You be having sex. And it just happens.
It sets up toxic Like,
It doesn't have to be toxic though. The two individuals create that toxic environment.
I mean, I know.
Because it's either one or both parties that are not mature enough to come together to make it to where it can be healthy and co-parent.
Mm.
Now, if you choose to make it healthy, but some people don't choose. Yeah, some people don't choose to have children before marriage. It just happens.
No,
it be happening.
No, you don't
Y'all
choose.
be caught. Listen, y'all be caught up in that moment. It be getting good, and wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
Nah, you don't choose to have kids.
And then some people do choose to have kids. Some people don't though. Some people, you get caught up in that moment. You know, everything be happening. You either be caught up in the moment, get good to you. But again, if it ain't no condoms, no birth control, and nothing like that, you chose that child. That child chose y'all. Ain't no excuses.
Are you right?
Whether she wear a condom, you wear a condom, or whatever, you chose that. If you got in there and you ain't had no type of protection, you chose that. Just like if you catch an STD or whatever, because you ain't had no protection, you chose it.
That's true.
You have to take responsibility and accountability for your actions. That child wasn't a mistake, because when you was in it, stroking, getting it off, you was happy. You was good.
Hey, look, that is true. If you got two parents that can co-parent and ignore the bullshit, because there is bullshit that comes into that, like other people and other situations that are let in and allowed in because they have feelings for who or whatever that situation is.
Yeah.
If you can get past that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can respectfully co-parent, and you can have that respect for one another easily. But if one party or both parties can't come to that agreement, and sometimes don't get me wrong, sometimes it's just not gonna happen. And in those cases, there has to be like a median person, because you want those healthy transfers of your child. You want those healthy meetings, you know what I'm saying, where you can have a decent conversation with that other parent, because you know in the presence of that person, they're not going to act out, because they don't want that person to see that other side of them. And those are those people with those many faces and many roles, where they have to keep an image, or they try to uphold an image around certain individuals, where they make you out to look like the bad person all the time. So there are times where you have to have that person in the middle, where you just need that, because not everybody is going to co-parent very well. Now, true indeed, when they have their children individually, they are the best parents and the children are protected. But there are times when the two parents together, they just cannot coexist. They just cannot get it right. They can't be in the same place with each other. And that's when you see a lot of times where these children have multiple birthday parties, because these parents and these families cannot coexist. And who do we blame?
Yeah.
The parents.
Exactly. Sometimes, so that goes back to your subject. Sometimes marriage just ain't gonna work for the kids, because sometimes you don't plan the kids before the marriage.
Sometimes that is true. So I'm sure the standard was put in place for a reason. So, I mean, does that make the standard wrong? Should we, just because of our own personal wants and feelings, should we just disregard the standard? Like, it's always been taught to be married and have kids and get a home.
Right. I don't think it's supposed to be disregarded, because honestly, I feel like every woman desires to be married at some point in her life. She desires to be married. Now, I don't know for men, because I am not a man, but I feel like every woman has that desire to be married. Now, whether it happens or not, I don't know, because things shift throughout life, and we all go through different stuff. But I feel like that standard should always be in our mind, and that should always be forefront, because of the fact that we do want to create, or what we should want to create, is that healthy standard for our children. We should want to create that. We should want two-parent households. We should want that healthy environment. We should.
Let me ask you, do you feel like, all right, do you think that men hold the keys to relationships and marriage, and women hold the keys to sex and children?
Yes,
All right,
absolutely.
so you said that every woman or a majority of women's goal or dream is to get married to the love of their life.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of guys, they want to have their child, their son or daughter, whichever. Some people want their son because they want to see if they can create one that looks like them. So do you feel like that's the even trade-off? Because if
No,
men hold the keys, if men hold the keys to
I
relationships
don't feel
and
like it's
marriage,
an even. The
You
reason why
said
I don't feel like
what?
it's a
You
reason
said
why I don't feel like it's the even. The reason why I don't feel like it's the even trade off is because just because I desire to be married doesn't mean he's going to give me marriage if I give him this baby.
by whose standards?
yeah.
A lot of people don't listen. A lot of people don't do that. A lot of women have these kids and these men be with them for years and years and years and never get married. They waiting on that man to propose.
Well, see, what I'm saying is, I give you a ring, we get married. That's marriage. Now, how I treat you doing that,
Well, you said if you give me a ring.
well, what I'm saying is if we get married, right? If we
Okay.
walk that
All right.
aisle, you get that ring on your finger, we're married, right? The preacher
Okay.
put everything in place, we married, right?
All right, we done got married. Okay.
All right, and then I want a kid. I want to say, hey, look, I want a son. You
Okay.
know, the most honorable, the most prestigious award to a woman is that beautiful wedding, that marriage. That's like the goal, right? And the male always wants that kid. Like, man, I want a son. That's his most honorable prize as a man. You don't think that's the trade-off?
In that perspective, yes. Now, if you put it that way, yes, that's even.
Because I give you marriage.
Unless before the proposal and the marriage, it has been stated that when we get married, I want to wait at least 3-4 years before I have a child. Now, if that conversation has been had, because there are some women who do get married in the process of gaining their career and getting established in their career, and they want to get set in that before they bring a child into it. So that way they're not putting too much on themselves. Now, there are some people who agree on that.
That's fine.
Now, if that type of agreement has been put in place, then I get that hold off. Now, if the man you get married and they say, listen, I'm ready for a child now, I don't see no problem with it. Unless, you know what I'm saying, she just struggles with, infertility or whatever the case may be, then it might take a little longer. But if that's something he desires and y'all are married, then yes, because at this point, you've trusted him with all of you. You've trusted him with the whole you, because at this point, y'all both, not just him, but you also stood up there and you said, I do as well. So you accepted the covering of your husband over top of your life. So you giving him a child should never be an issue, unless unless your body just does not allow you to do that. But at the point in which you allow yourself to say, I do, and you allow that man to be your covering, then yes.
So that's
Go
what I'm
ahead.
saying. So you give a man a child, right? You'll give a man a child, but you won't give it. We're speaking on behalf of the woman that doesn't want to get married. And this is why I kind of view it as a selfish act. Even though it's her life, she can do what she want to do. But my thing is, if you spend every day with this person and you so-called love this person, and you're having sex with this person and you give him a child, but, let's say he want to get married and you don't want to get him married, like, that's, I, I don't see it like you. You know what I mean? Like you're giving him a child, but you don't want to. How can I word it?
Sounds like a narcissist to me.
Yeah, it's like
Some people have children, and this is just reality that I have come to realization of. Some people just are okay with having children because of what they lacked as a child.
so childhood trauma.
Some people are just okay with it.
Ooh man.
Because the reality is, if we just being honest, people do not be out here healing for real.
Yeah, well,
They don't.
well, that goes back to what we talked about a couple of sessions ago, a couple of episodes ago. Uh,
Yeah, they don't though. But some people look at it as if what I lacked as a child, I can give to my child.
yeah, but that goes back to a couple of episodes ago where we was talking about making sure you healthy within before you get into a relationship.
But some people listen, some people go through the motions, and that's one of the reasons why mental illness exists.
Therapy,
Because people cannot identify when they aren't truly healed until they're triggered.
therapy.
And then we want to name it this, that, and the third, and we want to give it all these titles. But the truth of the matter is, majority of the people that go to therapy are healing from childhood trauma. It has nothing to do with your middle-aged self. It usually results back to your childhood and where it began.
Absolutely. That's why you need.
So
That's why.
a lot of people don't take therapy serious. They don't feel like they need it. They don't feel like they ever needed it. They feel like when I talk to my friends about it, I'm good, or whatever the case may be. So they've developed and created in their own mind that they are okay. And they go through life like that their majority of their life until something traumatizing happens, God forbid, but until something traumatizing happens, and it happens to one of their children, and now it releases the child in them because now they're having to relive their moment that they had as a child through their child, as well as help their child through their trauma.
So wait a minute.
Which
You mean to tell me?
creates, and that goes back to when I was saying the generational curses, because don't nobody want to heal.
So wait a minute. So somebody can keep going through their trauma, keep and get triggered, but they not know what triggers them. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, to be real, if you talk to a therapist or a psychologist, a lot of people cannot identify their triggers because they don't know what they're looking for.
Okay. That's why therapy comes.
But people don't take therapy serious.
Hey,
Like currently I'm going to therapy myself. I go every 2 weeks. And that's because I struggle with the passing of my mother. But I knew how to identify the trigger within me because of the fact that I had been there before.
And some people
Sometimes you don't revisit that because you don't want to revisit it.
triggers them, and I just feel like they ignore the shit. Like they can sometimes use it as a crutch.
You want to type that, bruh?
I went through some trauma myself, but I don't succumb to it. Like just because this trauma is affecting me doesn't mean I can't change and rearrange and figure out how to navigate through shit.
yeah, but hey,
all right,
bro,
but
hold on.
That mentality right there.
Hold on, bro.
We missed the first part, but
yeah, hold on, bro. Everybody ain't like.
That's what I'm saying.
Everybody ain't like you. Everybody ain't mentally strong like that. Just like,
but
that's true.
That's a mentality. That's a terrible mentality, because a lot of people get that mentality that you have, and they develop a way to navigate around it. They never heal from it. So if something triggers you or a trauma represents itself, if they are not strong-willed or strong-hearted or minded, it will take them back to that very same place because they never healed. You figured out a way to live past it. You didn't heal from it.
Okay.
You figured out how to navigate past it. That don't mean you healed.
Yeah, but I mean, are we living like we're always triggered?
No, some people aren't. Some people aren't because they can't identify their triggers. So they don't know that they're triggered. They think that's their life. They think that's normal. And then it'll be us who can identify depression and triggers and stuff like that that'll be sitting around like, Lord help, because baby, she on the wrong path. It's not looking too good. It'll be us that can identify that because we've been there. But they can't identify it because they don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
But you can only identify triggers if you have them of your own. And you can only identify triggers if you have healed from triggers. Even when you've gone through healing of trauma, there are still some things, even when you go to therapy, there are still some things that will be like, but you learn how to handle that. You learn how to calm yourself. You learn how to remove yourself from those situations. You learn all of that. Therapy helps you navigate and take a different path versus going to that strict anger or shutting yourself down or going into a depressed state. That's what therapy is for. But you still are going to have triggers, and anybody that tells you you will not have triggers is telling you a lie.
Yeah.
And people have to get to a place. Yeah, and people, and I was just telling somebody the other day, a lot of people are still stuck on the fact they've lost loved ones or people really important to them, like their grandparents and things like that. And I'm so sick of hearing people tell people it'll get better. That's BS. Because in a grieving period, you will grieve a lifetime over loved ones that you've lost. You will forever grieve your loved ones. You will just grieve differently. Instead of you being sad all the time, you will come up with ways to think about how they made you laugh or the moments you shared that were good. But because you're still in a grieving process, because they are still in the forefront of your mind in everything that you do. If you take on a new job, a new adventure, a new business, or whatever, the first people you usually think about in those moments is, man, I wish my homeboy was here. Man, I wish my grandma was here to see this. They're always in the forefront of your mind. Grieving is a lifetime. You just learn how to grieve in a different way that isn't setting you back to a depressed state.
Yeah. That makes sense. I agree with that. That do make sense. That makes a lot of sense.
She's spitting right now. All right.
Just saying. Listen, I can only learn from my own experiences. And that's the best teacher. Without life experiences and trials and tribulations, falling and getting back up, you learn nothing in this thing called life. You learn nothing.
That is true.
I'd rather learn from myself than to learn from somebody else than to say I learned. I mean, I learned from other people, but I don't want to go through what they did to learn it.
No.
I'd rather screw myself before I screw myself with somebody else.
Man, some of them people go through some really terrible stuff.
And they don't heal from it.
Yeah.
They don't heal from it.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. That's a lot of the issue in America, in the world.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and say the world.
Yeah, in the world. Which is why.
You know.
Which is why.
And that's crazy because.
What, nigga?
That's crazy because the people that you think is nothing wrong with them.
It's a lot.
There's something wrong with them. Like, I was out at Lowe's and I was just like things that you do, like, you know, people like they keep fidgeting, stuff like that. Like if they nervous or they gotta use the bathroom. And I was asking this guy, I was like, because he kept like fidgeting a little bit, and I was like, "Do you deal with like anxiety or something like that?" And he was like, "Oh hell yeah, all the time, all the time." And I'm just like, "But you can never tell like how he carries it. Like you
He
can
looks
never
like an
tell."
everyday person.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
dang.
Because they learn how to navigate and go forward.
Yeah.
And a lot of them suppress it to the point where they're just barely getting through the day, but you can't tell that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, anxiety and depression is one of those things that you have to deal with as it comes. Because it once it's there, many people say you can heal from it, get delivered from it. Once it's there, it's there. You
It's
just
there.
are learning how to press past it and not suppress it.
Right.
You're learning how to go forward. You're learning how to be better. You're learning how to respond in those moments that hold you hostage and hold barriers on you. You're learning how to handle those things as they come. Because again, depression and stuff like that usually isn't developed by something that is present. It's usually developed and triggered by something that is past.
Mm.
Majority of the time, it comes from past.
Absolutely.
Mm.
All right.
So,
Well, I appreciate that perspective that you gave. It made a lot of sense. And I appreciate you coming on. Bro, what you got?
yeah, see, y'all was joking about me for real.
Now, you know, we always have fun with you. But we appreciate your perspective, though. You have good insight.
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely appreciate you, Nisha, for coming on the live again. Definitely.
I'm not coming back no more.
Oh yeah, you coming? You
You
coming
coming
back?
back.
You can't. You can't help it. This is something.
I'll be in the comments.
Nah, nah.
I'll be trying to be in the comments like the meme.
Oh.
She
Hey,
throwing
you coming,
shots.
huh? You coming for us, me, huh? Okay.
Yeah, I'll be in the comments like the meme. They love DMs and comments. I'll be right there.
Wait a minute. I like stuff.
Y'all be
Wow.
in the DMs too now.
I like y'all be in the DMs just like we be in the DM.
Come on,
My
hey,
God,
big
today.
head. What's that
What?
one, bro? Hey,
Good
big
night.
head.
Yeah. Hey,
Look.
hey, big
Hey, big
head.
head.
Yeah, y'all done with that one. It's 2021. Let that go.
Oh, that's what we
Oh,
telling y'all. Please let that go.
Yeah, they need to, because I
They
ain't for that.
still
What?
say that.
I ain't heard that so many.
I ain't heard that. I ain't heard nobody
Nah,
say
man,
that
I
in a
still
minute.
heard
Hey,
it. I
big
still heard
head.
it.
Oh, well. Bless the Lord. Anyway, I'm going to bed now. Y'all have a good night, okay?
You have a good night too.
Because I'm
All right,
usually
man.
asleep by
Appreciate
now. I swear.
Appreciate you.
Good night.
Good night.
it.
Yeah. It's definitely been a great live today.
Yeah,
Um.
that's a good little build there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Man, I would like a man to come on. But it don't look like no men in here.
It's all good. We'll catch them on the next one. I'm gonna
I want to know. Do sis want to get on the live right quick? Tabby, you want to get on live right? Spit some facts right quick. What's your take on the topic? What's your take on the topic? Come on and get on the live right quick. You ain't gotta stay on that too long. Yeah.
she gonna get on. Damn man,
Uh,
we
I
missed our
sent the
good
request.
brother today.
What's up, sis?
Hey y'all!
What's
First
up?
of all, let me just say I'm over here doing laundry and my hair is wrapped up. I am not gonna get on nobody's camera.
Hey,
Okay?
hey, you gotta get
Maybe next time.
you gotta get camera ready. What's up with you?
I was not ready, okay? But no, I was just commenting. I'm good. This is good, y'all.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
definitely appreciate you tuning in today. Um, what's your take on the topic? People who don't wish to get married should they still have kids?
What? Well, y'all know I go by the Bible. Praise God. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, for
Amen.
real.
Tabernacle.
Check.
I go by the Bible. The Bible, it definitely says, you're not supposed to have sex before marriage, have kids. But anyway, but the ones that actually do, like, even some of my friends that I've talked to, I mean, a lot of them just want the kid. Like Tanisha had already said, like, a lot of them, and I commented earlier, a lot of them don't want to be committed. Um, a lot of times, like I said, they just want the kid for them. So a lot of them, they don't care about the commitment. They don't care about what else he got going on or what she got going on. As long as they got their kid. Now, the only thing about that I dislike is because, like Tanisha said as well, like a lot of these kids need these two-parent households
Mm-hmm.
instead of bouncing from house to house, getting different beliefs from house to house. And at this house, I can do this. At this house, I can do that.
That's
That's the only thing I don't like about it. But hey, whatever floats their boat, I guess.
is your voice the product of Miami still?
Yes, very much so, guys.
Mine.
I have not been the same since I've been back from Miami. Oh my God.
Yikes!
Yo, when I tell y'all I take peppermint tea every day and I still sound like this. I don't know what is going on.
All that yelling.
All they yelling,
Had a
right?
good time.
Y'all, Miami, I wish I was there. Miami was nothing but amazing, okay? I know that's not y'all topic,
I,
but y'all should have been there.
yeah, I was just in Miami in February. It was lit then, so I already know how it was when you went a couple of weeks.
What? And I had a house full of girls. Y'all understand?
Mm.
Oh, hey,
No
sis.
comment.
I'm sorry. Sis said her husband want to get on, though.
Okay. Whenever
Come
he
on in.
pop in, we'll figure it out. But yeah, just anything else you
Y'all
wanted
keep,
to add to that, bro?
no, y'all just keep me connected. I just got your message late, but I would love to come on when you have other topics, too. Something I could probably relate to. Because, for one, I'm not married. For two, I have no kids. And I'm perfectly fine with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
So,
can't.
yes. Huh?
I said you can't argue with that.
Exactly. I'm embracing my singleness. I love it.
That's what's up.
Y'all
Hey,
have
we
a
pre-
good night, though.
All right, you too.
All right.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
All right. Good night.
We're gonna get a male's perspective, and then we're gonna wrap it up.
All right, bro. I'm not used to this. Do I supposed to hang up or you hang up?
Oh, my bad.
Okay. Good night.
Yeah. Oh, never mind. She gonna do it through. Yeah. Yo, what's good, bro?
What's up, my man?
Not much,
What's
man.
going on, brother?
What's up, my man? How you doing?
All right, to you.
Introduce yourself, man.
So I am Cynthia's husband, Kalen. I usually be in the chat, be joking around a little bit, but every time y'all get on, I'll be at work.
Yeah. We
Oh
we
man.
be around 8:30.
Yeah,
I normally set it for 8 o'clock, but sometimes you
Don't
know
go there, rap.
time
nah, all good.
just don't have the time. It don't be on the scheduled time, but we're trying to get a little bit better than that. But just give us your perspective on this, because we wanted a male's perspective. We heard from 4 or 5 different women today, so people who don't wish to get married, should they still have kids? What's your perspective on that, man?
Well, based on that perspective, I feel like I mean, it's going to go either way, and it's still have kids. Um, I feel like if you don't have kids while you're married, um, you're allowing yourself to what was the word I used before? You, you allow yourself to more struggle in that aspect. Like you're just allowing more stuff to happen, and not to say that's all going to happen, but you just never know because when you're having kids and you're married, you're having that bond with God. I'm a believer of Jesus Christ, so I go according to the word on it. So if you're doing something outside of his covenant, then it kind of makes it a little iffy on somewhere.
Right. Yeah, I feel you. And
Okay, go ahead.
as far as do you think people like the ladies were saying, there was uh some females they don't want the marriage, but they want the kid. I mean, what's your real take on that? Like, they want the kid, but they don't want the marriage.
Right.
Well,
Is
that
it
is
kind of
very.
selfish? Is it selfish?
Wouldn't that be selfish to you?
They just want the kid and not the marriage,
Yeah.
which is that's facts. I mean, not gonna lie about that. I do feel like that's very selfish.
Right.
Reason for that. Um, what was the saying that women control kids and then man controls
Women
man?
controls the keys to sex and kids, and men controls the marriage and relationships.
Correct.
Relationship. Yeah.
So the relationship aspect of it. So yeah, but you already see how that goes without marriage and just having kids. You see that time and time again, and we've proven that does not. It's not the best. It's not. It's unfair to the kid. Honestly, I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh yeah,
It's like,
absolutely.
your offspring. So
isn't
that,
it like, isn't it like being out of order?
yeah, I would.
It's
I would.
like, it's like you take the whole natural order out of things when you just have the kid and no marriage. Um, yeah, it just takes
Yeah.
everything out of order.
Yeah. No, I agree. Now, not to say that I mean, things happen. So obviously, you know, you go a different route, and saying that kid's got the wrong upbringing or whatnot. But I'm just saying there's a way that you want to be the best that you can to it. If it doesn't work, it's gonna have a messed up life or messed up path to success. I mean, there's plenty of people that are successful, kids that are successful that way. You know?
Yeah, it
All
is
right.
plenty that have been successful in one parent home, but do you feel like a child is like born to a disadvantage when they only have that one parent home?
Possibly, yeah. I feel so.
And who do you think is at the disadvantage?
If I wasn't married, what?
Come on in. I want to take your life.
Are you good?
My question to you or to you guys would be, if you were not married, well, in his case, well, you're married too, right? You're to the brother. I can't remember
Me?
your name. Yes, I'm bad with. Sorry, I just know.
Yeah, I'm married.
So to you guys, right? That you guys are married. If you guys were not married, will you want to have a child?
If we were not married, would we still want to have a child? I would say yes, but that's with knowing that I really want to be married.
What about you,
And for
Taz?
me, like,
Tess is a baby.
Hmm?
Tess is a child. He has a boy.
Me,
The idea is gonna get married, but
with that,
that went left.
yeah,
I mean, of course, the first thing I always tried to be like, I wanted to have the marriage before the child. I mean, my my parents were married when they had me, but I mean, it ended quickly after that.
right.
But
So I guess what you're saying. So my thing, I mean, they're both married. So I would do my best to follow, especially my ancestry role, my parents. I would like to honor my family. So I feel being married and having kids bring them,
it's,
even if they wa- even if it wasn't that, I still feel my parents they weren't married.
yeah, exactly. So that's why I was saying I feel like children with disadvantage to some degree when they don't have a two-parent household. Uh, as far as, but yeah, just basically a two-parent household, because not to say that I had numerous of parents. My mother was married 3 times, and my dad had been married twice. So I've always had parent figures in my life that I could, what I'm saying, look at towards, what I'm saying, if I wanted a type of marriage, if I wanted to be married, which that, I mean, I always felt like I wanted to have marriage, but it just didn't work out at that particular time for me with, what I'm saying, my child's mother. But um, yeah. Uh, anything you wanted to add to that, bro?
Nah, man, that's pretty much it. That's all that I got on it. I mean, I feel the same. Like, and then I don't know, it might just be the old schoolness or what I learned and what I was taught growing up. But
Right.
you want to keep it in the natural order of things. But like a girl said, sometimes you get in the moment and
Yeah.
and in most cases when you dating somebody, especially if it's been years, like for me with my first child with my daughters, like we have been dating for years, and we had our child, but it was like the idea was there, like okay, we want to be married, so, but I probably should have waited until that point, because like I was saying, to me it's kind of like a trade off when you look at it in that perspective. It's like a trade off. So it's like the fact that I wanted to get married, and I believe she did too, but I gave her a child, and then it was like after that they left. Um,
Mhm.
there was no fair deal. So, um, but it happens. But I can see
Yeah.
the order of why they tell you to get married, then have children. Don't just have children, because, like my man right here says, you open yourself up to a whole lot of chaos, whether you want it to or not. I don't care how careful you try to be, how much you try to circumvent it. It just happens. So, but that's all I got.
Yeah, man. We appreciate you coming on, Callie, man. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. We've been on here for way too long, man. So, man, appreciate you coming on live, and definitely catch us next time.
Yeah,
The
most
thing is
definitely.
that we all tend to go off tangents, so maybe we need like a referee or something to keep you back online,
That's
because
that's
we.
that that's how conversations always are. Though. I mean, you're always gonna go outside. That's with the narrator, but I mean, it's all good. It's all good. It's good publicity in a sense. So
Oh yeah,
it's gonna keep it all good. So
oh yeah, absolutely, man.
Most definitely.
Man, we're gonna call it a night, man. When we'll holler at you next time.
yeah, most definitely. Have a good one.
All right, man.
All
You
right,
too.
bro. Take it easy.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Oh,
that's
you
good wife, man.
nasty. See, you ain't even had to show that. You
You
little
messed
snake,
up.
you.
Last time you came, she got a lot better at the cooking.
Oh, yikes. She been she been learning from Mamacita. Okay.
All right. Be respectful of your elders, okay?
I love Mamacita. Mi amor.
Hey, tengo hambre.
Yeah, nosotros. So vamos a.
Hey,
That's back
Ben.
in Spanish English dictionary all through high school.
Hey, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
Ben,
Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
See y'all.
See you.
y'all later.
Oh man. Yes, sir, man.
Yeah.
Did another successful live, man.
I'm tired.
Definitely appreciate. Yeah, definitely tired, man. I need to eat. You have already ate already.
I'm sleeping too.
Sleep at the same time. Need to take a shower.
Yeah.
Need to do all that stuff, man. So, man, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
Watch me. Watch the shower.
Okay. But
anyway,
like always, man, we definitely appreciate everybody for joining the live tonight. Definitely, like I said before, we definitely trying to keep this going, man. We definitely appreciate everybody. And anything you wanted to add to, bro?
Man, I just want to say again, man, appreciate everybody coming out, everybody giving your perspectives, just vibing with us. Because what we do, we did what? I know we did over 2 hours, going on 3.
Yeah, we pushing that 3 mark.
So, yeah, if you hung around with us that long.
2.5, about 2.5.
Oh, 2.5? Okay. So
Yeah.
2.5 hours, we appreciate you. If you stuck around that long, we appreciate you. Be sure to check out King of My Way, Queen of My Way. Again,
Absolutely.
my brother, you can check out my brother's page or my page. He'll post the links. Also, check out the YouTube channel. What is it? TJ's World?
T. Jordan's World.
T. Jordan's World. So be sure to check that out. And yeah, we got another topic in mind, but like always, you'll find out the day of, or a little bit before we start. So
we're gonna try to get better with that. That way, I'll come in with your questions, and we'll be able to have a lot more answers for you. As well as I said that last week we're gonna be adding an extra day to the lives. Of course, the lives is normally on Sundays, but we're gonna actually do an extra day during the week. I'm thinking we're probably gonna do Thursday this week to start that up. So definitely just check on it. Make sure that you got just check on it. I'm sleepy. I'm sleepy.
Yeah, he's sleeping. Make sure you got what, bro?
Man, just make sure you check on it, man. I'm sleepy. Tired. All that. Yeah, so just make sure you check in, tune in this Thursday. We'll have Thursday.
Check out that podcast we did too, man.
Yeah, make sure y'all tune in to Talk with Tor. It's on there. Plus, it's in my Instagram story as well. So definitely check out that IG interview that we did earlier today about King of My Way and Queen of My Way. Some good points on that. That we got some things coming up real soon with that as well. So definitely check in with that.
Yeah. Yep. And then follow Tora too, man. She's good. She's a good person, man. She's really good at what she do. Much respect to her, and much respect to her for having us. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. She's definitely a good friend of mine. So definitely follow her as well and everything that she's got going on. Cause she has a lot going on. If you got a business or anything, she's willing to interview you, just like she interviewed us. So definitely take a look into her as well. And it's her Instagram page is Talk with Tor. So
Yep. So, was that it? Was that everything we had?
that's it, man. That's
So,
it.
I'm gonna say it again. Check out King of My Way, Queen of My Way. Some new stuff coming. So definitely be on the lookout for that. But if that's all we got, I'm out. I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to get something to eat first, brother. Hungry.
And wash your ass.
Hey, wash your mouth, boy. Percy Jones. All right. Until
Smelling like that. You running around here smelling like the inside of a belly button.
all right. All right.
All right, man. All right, y'all.
Until next time.
All right, peace.
Peace.